Look at this, 4, 8, 4. You can see that 4 is common there. So don't work with complicated long numbers or big numbers. Like 4, you can take out 4. When you're taking out 4, you can put a bracket. So it's 4p squared plus 8pq and then plus 4q squared. When you see the square, just know that is product sum. 3 items, 1, 2, 3, with the square and the beginning and the end like this. It's a product sum method. You don't have to stress. So how do you work this out? Take out 4, 4 cancelling 4, 4 cancelling 8 is a 2, 4 cancelling 4 there is a 1. So you can see it's p squared plus 2pq plus q squared. That's what you're going to have. So if I use that, it will be in here p squared plus 2pq plus q squared. Hello, our most valued student. My name is Confident. Welcome to our continuation of the Mathematics N2, and I am revising or going through the paper that was written on the 28th of June 2022. And if you guys have been following up with me, you will recall that I already done question number 1. And if it is your first time coming in contact with this channel, you need to subscribe so that you can also benefit from all the videos that are here. So I will encourage you to go to our subscription button and subscribe, as well as ensure that notification bell is turned on so that you can be notified every time there's a new video. So this channel is made with you in mind as you prepare for your final exams. As I'm saying here, I'm going through the Mathematics N2, and this is the exam that was written, latest exam written on the 28th of June 2022, and I've already gone through question number 1, and now I'm looking so this was the first question that I've done. As I said, you need to subscribe. It will be available to premium members at first, and then later on I'm going to bring it to all of you guys. It is just a token of appreciation if you're a premium member to get the first time content. Alright, let's go to question 2.1. As I said, we have already looked at the first question. Now, question 2.1, it says simplify the following algebraic fractions. Now, if you're going to simplify the following, now there is something important that I want to emphasize, especially when it comes to question number 2. Question number 2 is heavily relied on knowing the technique of factorization. So this is the most important technique. If you can master factorization, you will be able, look at the mark allocation is 20 marks. So if you can just master factorization, you are good to go, especially when it comes to the second question. It also spills over even to question number 3, and I just did a review of this to say, look at this question. Says in question 3.1 says solve for p in the following equation by using the factorization method. So you see that it goes all the way in question number 3. So in this scenario, I will be factorizing, not really doing the basics in here, but also showing you how I usually say factorize such expressions. So the first one is 2.1.1, it's 6 marks. 2.1.2 is also 4 marks, so already 10 marks. It will rely on factorization. So let's go with the first one. I'm going to kind of first let me just study this. The first one, the top is already simplified, even the second one and the third one. What I need to focus on is at the bottom to say I'm factorizing these fractions, is addition, So if I'm going to be factorizing that, let's take it one step at a time. Look at the factorization of 2a squared minus 3ab plus b squared. How do you factorize this kind of expression here? So if I can bring it in here to say, let's factorize this part. So what I have, or what I usually do, is to come with the product sum. So I have my product, and my product is whereby I take the first part and I multiply with the second part. So I multiply these two. So we call it the product because it is multiplication. Remember, product means times. So what do? I'm multiplying 2a squared times b squared. It's very important to take the signs, but since it's positive, I'm just focusing on the number, on the two of them. If it was a negative, I need to include the negative sign. So 2a squared times b squared, I'm getting 2a squared b squared. That's my product. But remember, it is a positive product. And then what I have remaining is this part, which I didn't include. We call that the sum. Now sum means addition, and it is minus 3ab. So this is what I mean when I say the product sum method. So the next thing that is important is for me to find the factors. So what am I finding? I'm finding the factors of the product. Always remember, you are finding the factors of the product. So I'm looking at the factors. Focus on the number, not the letters or the variables. Just focus on the number. The factors of the number that I have there is 2, meaning I need two numbers that I will multiply to get 2. It is simple, 1 times 2. There is no any other number that will give me a 2. So it's 1 times 2 or 2 times 1. So those are the two numbers that will give me a 2. Let me just separate this apart like this so that you'll see why I do that. So it's 1 times 2. These are the two numbers that I need. Remember that I need to multiply. If I say 1 times 2, I get 2. That is my product. Now when I add these two numbers, the sum, I must get minus 3. So how can I get minus 3? If I say, let me just take a calculator here. And if I say 1 plus 3, I mean 1 plus 2, I'm getting what? I'm getting a 3. So if I add these two numbers, 1 and 2, I'm getting a 3. But I don't need a 3. I'm looking for a what? A negative 3. So you need to play around your numbers. To get a negative, if I say minus 1 plus 2, I get that. But if I change that to become minus 1 plus negative 2, I'm getting a negative 3. So do you see the sum? Meaning when I add these two numbers, if they become both negative, I'll get minus 3. So if I put here a minus and I put a minus, and when I add these two numbers, so it's minus 1 plus minus 2, I will get the negative 3. So what you just do, you just put your variables, which is a, b, and here you put a, b. So that's the product sum. So how do you go about it? You rewrite this to say 2a squared minus, now look at this. You wanted to write minus 3ab, but you have got your two numbers that are giving you minus 3ab, because minus 1ab plus minus 2ab is minus 3ab. So it will be minus 1ab minus 2ab. Are you getting that? And then you've got plus b squared. So from 3 items, this was number 1, this was number 2, and this was number 3. Look, now I've got 4 items now. And when I've got 4 items, I have to factorize them by grouping, meaning you kind of group them like this. You understand? So you group them 2 by 2. This is factorization by grouping. So it involves the product sum method, meaning you check the first two and ask yourself what's common in the first two. It's 2a squared minus 1ab. You can see a is repeating, so we can take out a. So what we are saying a, so I'm saying actually 2a squared is 2 times a times a, and I'm dividing by my common factor, which I said was a. When you cancel that, you see 2a is remaining. So I've got 2a and then minus, now I've got ab, which is 1ab, divide by my common factor, which is a, cancel that, I'm left with 1b, which you can just call it a b. Then you close that bracket. When you multiply this, 1a times 2a is 2a squared, a times ab is minus ab. See that it can go back to that. So that's the first part that you're doing. The second part is for you, put a positive sign, always put a positive sign. The negative sign and everything, it will work itself out as you go down. So start with a positive sign and then ask yourself, what is common in 2ab plus b squared? You can see b is repeating in this scenario now. B is repeating, so you're going to take out a b. Don't take out a b squared, take out the smaller power, which is b to the power of 1. So you don't take out the bigger power, you take out the smallest power. Even in a squared and ab, a has a power 1, b has a power 1, so we took out a, which was like the smallest power. If you take out the bigger power, it's not going to be possible, because what you have, for example, let's say you took out b squared there, you'll be saying bracket, then I take 2ab over b squared, which is b times b. You will cancel that, now you are stranded with the other b. That's why you must take out the smaller b so that it can go into anything. Okay, so I hope this is making sense. So when we are doing that, let me just erase that. We go on to say 2ab, which is negative, over b. The b cancels, left with negative 2a. So we write minus 2a plus, and then we've got b squared, which is b times b, over b. You cancel that and then you're left with a b. So that is what we're having here. If we are to continue then with this method, look at this. Focus on your brackets. The first bracket is 2a minus b. The second bracket is minus 2a plus b. You can see that the problem is only the interchanging of signs. I've got a 2a, I've got minus 2a, I've got minus b, I've got a b. How do you go about? What you simply do is, let me maintain the color there. You're going to say a, 2a minus b, then you start to interchange the signs. Since the second bracket is only different by the signs, so where there was a positive b, you say minus b, put a bracket. Where there was a negative 2a, you put a positive 2a. Where there was a positive b, you put a negative b. So what we just did is we took out a negative from inside. When you're taking out a negative, everything interchanges in terms of signs. Okay, the simpler way to say it is interchange the signs by taking out a negative. The negative will affect that to become a positive. The negative is positive. Here, negative positive is negative. So that's what you're doing. All right, when you've done that, the aim is to match your brackets. Look at this, 2a minus b, 2a minus b. That was the reason why you're doing everything. So you write the first bracket, 2a minus b, and you write what is outside the brackets, which is that with the sign and that. What is it? It's a minus b. You have managed to factorize by grouping. Not actually factorize by grouping, but you have managed to do the product sum method. So this is that, which is what we have here. So if I can put it on the side to say it's 2a minus b, let me write it here. It's what? 2a minus b, a minus b. So I can write it here and say this simplified as 2a minus b, a minus b. It's 2a minus b, and I've got a minus b. Remember, you can prove it by opening this bracket. It will lead you to that. So that is the first part of this working. The second one, let us erase here and go on, and again using the product sum method, we can actually simplify that again. So let's try it out in the second one. What am I simplifying? I'm simplifying 2a squared. Let me write it here. I'm simplifying now. It's 2a squared plus ab. You know, they were trying to confuse you by giving you two sets of variables like the a and the b, which is sometimes not what is commonly asked, you know. So don't get confused. The aim is to ensure that you maintain your working. So look at this. Remember, it's the product sum method, and in the product sum method, I'm taking the first one and I'm taking the last one with the sign. So take the first one and the last one, it becomes your what? Your product. P means product. So my product here is equal to 2a squared times negative b squared. If you multiply, remember negative b squared is the same as saying I have got minus 1b squared. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2a squared b squared. Don't worry with this part. You focus on the negative 2. That is your product. And then what is my sum? My sum is the number that I didn't include at the beginning, which is equal to positive AB. Now, since it's just positive AB, there is a hidden number there, and that particular number is 1. Are you with me? And then, lastly, you're going to focus on the factors. So what is it? I told you is the factors of the product. It's the factors of what? Of 2. Don't worry with the sign for now, but it's the factors of 2, meaning which two numbers can you multiply to get a 2? The factors of 2, it's 1 times 2. Again, let me give it space because I will have to include 1 times 2. I will have to include some numbers in between. So these are the there is only one way of getting a product of 2, which is 1 times 2. But now I'm not interested in getting a positive 2. I'm interested in getting a negative 2. Now, how can I get a negative 2? There are two ways of getting a negative 2. Let me just give it a bit of space here. There are two ways for me to get a negative 2. The first one is I can make this a minus, so minus 1 times 2. Let's just bring a calculator here. If I say minus 1 times 2, you see, it will give me a negative 2. Another way of getting a negative is to say 1 times negative 2. I will still get a negative 2. So I can write it in two ways, which is 1 times negative 2. So all these will give me a negative 2. So there are two options. So far so good. The next part that will make me select of these two, I need only one. The question is which one? So the sum is the decider. This is what I call your decider, meaning I need to kind of come here and add these numbers. Remember, sum is add these numbers. When I'm going to add them, I need to get a 1AB or just AB. So let's take a calculator and add them. If I say minus 1 plus 2, I'm getting a 1, which is positive. And then 1 plus minus 2, I'm getting a negative 1. I'm not interested in the negative 1, I'm interested in the positive 1, which is the first one, minus 1 plus 2. You see that one? So this one is out. I'm going to cross it out or cross it out. The correct one is that one. What am I saying? I'm saying when I say minus 1 plus 2, I'll get a positive 1, and minus 1 times 2, I get a negative 2. So what I just need to do here is to add my A, B. Remember, it's got AB. I add my AB. So what do I have? When I rewrite this, it will be 2A squared. Instead of AB, now I've got minus 1AB. And then plus 2AB, which if you add these two, it will give you plus AB, then minus B squared. Again, from 2 items to how many items now? From 2 items to 4, from 3 to 4 items. Then you use grouping. Group the first two. What's common in the first two? 2a squared minus ab. You've got a being common. So what you're doing is you're saying 2a squared, which is 2 times a over a. You see, you cancel, you've got 2a here. And then minus, then you've got ab. You're dividing by a. You cancel, you've got b remaining. Like that. Now you need to come up with a bracket identical to this one. So let's say plus, always take out a plus, 2ab minus b squared. B is simply common there. You can see b is repeating. Now we are going to say 2ab, and then I'm dividing by what? By b in this case. So you cancel the b, you have got 2a remaining, put a bracket. You have 2a minus, now you have b squared, which is b times b. Or sometimes you can just write it like this. Say b squared over b. You cancel the b, from 2, 1 will remain, which is equal to what? Which is equal to b. Like that. Are you with me? So that's what you are doing when you're factorizing. And then from here, look at your brackets. Are they identical? 2a minus b, 2a minus b. Perfect. Then you write your 2a minus b. And then outside the brackets, what do we have? We have a with the sign is plus b. So you've got a plus b. You have managed to factorize. That's what they are requiring from you to do. So it's 2a minus b, a plus b. So we write here 2a minus b, and on the other one it's a plus b. You see that? So now we are in a better position to simplify this part. Remember, they want you to show all this working, not this part. You don't need to show this part, but they definitely need you to show this is your step 1. They need to see that. This is your step 2. This is your step 3, and this is your step 4. You don't have to show the other working part, but these steps you need to show them. Okay, so now if I'm to write, I'm erasing because I need to be using the same space time and again, but you need to be showing the working. Now look at this. When I have done what I've been doing, I can now write this question and say, this is how you're going to write it, to say they are saying a over, let me just get enough space to say a over 2a squared minus 3ab, and then it's what? Plus b squared, and then there is plus, then you continue, you've got b over, and then what we have got 2a squared plus ab minus b squared, and then it continues to say plus, let me erase this so that it doesn't interfere. I'll plus 1 over, it will be clear shortly. I'm just writing on top of this white background, but it will be clear shortly. 1 plus b, a plus b. So let me take this out and make this more clearer for you. So what I have is this thing. Alright, so this is what I have, and I just want to factorize this. But now you remember I've been factorizing this already to say this is the same as saying on the first one it's a over, and then on the second one it's plus, it was b over, I have factorized again that, and then plus 1 over, and then the other one is remaining as a plus b. So let's look at the first one, a over what? We did that, 2a minus b, it's 2a minus b, a minus b. So that's what I'm writing here to say 2a minus b from that working, and a minus b. It's not appreciated for you to just move directly from here to here. You need to show us the working. We need to see the working. And then from the other one, it's 2a minus b, a plus b. So the only difference is a plus b. So it's 2a minus b and it's a plus b. So what do you do next? So you've got this. How do you then add that? The first part, you've actually done the factorization. So you've done the heavy lifting. What is left is not as difficult, but you need to be sensitive now. Look at this. From here, you need to select a common factor of the denominators. So we are looking at the denominators, which are these. These are the denominators. Meaning we need to select what is common. Meaning we are looking at the highest common factor. Not actually the highest common factor. We're looking at the lowest common multiple, maybe to say. Maybe I might be using the wrong words here, but I'm saying you are looking at a common denominator, meaning the number or the part which the first fraction, the second fraction, and the third fraction will go into without leaving a remainder. The simplest thing to do is identify each and every non-repeating fraction. For example, I've got 2a minus b. I'll write it as my common, as my first one, 2a minus b. And then I've got a minus b, so I'll write it a minus b. And then I've got 2a minus b, but already I have 2a minus b, so I can ignore that. And then I've got the other one, a plus b. I'll write it as a plus b. Then I also have a plus b. So that is what I mean by the common denominator. This is what makes it common, meaning if you look at it, each and every fraction will go into this one. For example, if I say take the first one here, which is like this, 2a minus b and a minus b. If I cancel that, cancel that. If I cancel that and cancel that, what is remaining? It's a plus b. Do you see what I'm doing? If I was going to divide it like that, so that's why I'm saying it can go into that. So what will be left is a plus b. That's what you write on top. So what you're going to do is you are simple saying a plus b. Now you must multiply by that top, which is a can come there. I sing that, so I can actually write it like this to say a bracket a plus b is this one that remained. Remember, you do the same things, then you go to plus. We are now in this one, and in this one what do we have? We have got 2a minus b and we've got a plus b. If we were to divide it and cancel, we've got that cancelling, we've got that cancelling. What are you left with? You've got a minus b multiplying that. So that's what I'm going to write. So it will be, in this case, plus, remember I start with b, and what was remaining, we said it's a, it was that, a minus b. I think that plus, again you take the last one, which is a plus b, put it at the bottom here and say a plus b. Then it will cancel that one and that one, and then there is 1 on top, so you're going to say 1 multiplying that and that. That's what you're going to be doing. Alright, so you have got, if I can undo that, so we have got here 1, which is just, it will remain as is. But what is important is to say, let me remove these arrows here, they have done their part, is to say I'm left with 2a minus b and I'm left with a minus b. That's why they made this question 6 marks, I think. Yes, it's because of the length of work that is involved. At this stage, you are in a better state now. What you need is to open every bracket. So you're saying a times a, you're using the FOIL method, a times ab. So what is a times a? It's a squared plus a times b is ab, plus you do the same thing, b times a, it's ab. You can start with a because ba and ab is the same, and then positive b times negative b, the negative is powerful, which is minus b squared. And then you come here on the second one, it's a plus, it's 2a. Be careful now when you're multiplying this part. It's 2a times that, and it's 2a times that. Remember the FOIL method? So 2a times a, it's plus 2a squared, because a times a. 2a times b times negative b. So the negative is powerful. It's 2ab minus b times a. The negative is powerful. Minus ba, which is minus ab. Minus b times minus b is positive b squared. Do you see that? And then you're saying everything all over. You maintain your common denominator, which is 2a minus b, which is a minus b, which is a plus b. Do you see what I mean? That's what you maintain, guys. Just follow it up. Don't be in a hurry. Just do it slowly. Take it easy. Take it easy. Now the next thing you have to do is to group like terms. They want to confuse you, but you need to be very, very careful. Now group like terms, meaning look at what is similar. There is a squared, there is 2a squared. So I'm going to bring it together, which is a squared together with the sign plus 2a squared. And then what else? I've got let's focus now on the squared part. I've got minus b squared. Let me use a different one. Yeah, let's look at the same thing. Minus b squared. Or let me just change here to say, let me use a white one. Look at this. I've got minus b squared plus b squared. So I'm going to write that as, bring it together, minus b squared plus b squared. Don't always worry to say, how am I going to simplify this? Remember, in everything there is, if you don't say any number, it means there is a hidden one, and it means there is a hidden one, and it means there is a hidden one. Alright, so we're done with the b. Let's look at the next one, which is our AB. Look at that. There is my AB. There is my AB. It's very important for you to kind of do this because it makes you focus on what is similar. So I've got plus AB, plus AB, minus 2AB, and then minus AB. Are you following up? So that is that. And then when you have gotten it like that, don't forget you are still continuing. Maintain your denominator. Don't forget to write it down. 2a minus b, a minus b, a plus b. I know it looks quite tedious or long, but that's why they're giving you 6 marks for that. That is algebra now. This is the algebra. So now your calculator will just help you. Don't worry with the a squared, b squared, and all this stuff. Just focus on what is common. Now you grouped a squared and a squared, meaning you can now add 1 plus 2, which is what? 3a squared. You see that? And then we are on the next one, minus 1 plus 1. This becomes 0. You can check it with your calculator. Let me use a different color. That cancels out because it's minus 1 plus 1. It's all b squared. And then the other one, as I told you, there is a hidden one, there is a hidden one, there is a hidden one. So you're saying 1 plus 1, which is 2, 2 minus 2. So these 2 will cancel out like this. These 2. If I add 1 plus 1, it will cancel out that. So 1 plus 1 is 2 minus 2. So I'm left with minus 1b. Minus 1 AB. Don't forget the denominator doesn't change. Maintain your denominators, which is 2a minus b, a minus b, a plus b. Again, let me just check if ever perchance I made any errors here. It is that and that, a squared and 2a squared, and everything was addition, just to be verify a plus a. Alright, so everything is as is and everything is yes. So it was that and that. So everything is fine. So we have got that. Now what is the next thing to do? The next thing to do is to also factorize or take out what is common. This is not done. We can take out what is common, and you can see that a here is still common. So I'm going to take out a. So I've got a bracket. So remember, I'm dividing a into 3a. So I've got 3a squared dividing by a. The squared will cancel to remain with 1. So I've got 3a, and then I've got ab over a, cancel out, I've got minus b all over. Then I'm left with what? 2a minus b, a minus b, a plus b. Then that becomes the answer to this question. Now it looks unsatisfying, that is the answer. So what I usually do, I test my answers here. You test. Even me, I don't feel confident about the answer, because it's more like I feel like more things needed to cancel here, but I can test. If I can test and it works out, then I can be more satisfied. What do I do? How do I test? I choose any value, for example, to say let a be equal to let's use 7 and b be equal to 8. Let's use these two numbers. Where there is a, we put 7. Where there is b, you put 8. You choose any random numbers, any two numbers, then you start by the first one and see what it gives us. So let's do that. Remember, a is 7, b is 8. So I've got a fraction, and then I've got a is 7 bracket. Then I say 3 times a, which is 7, minus b, which is 8, like that, all over. Put the first bracket, 2a minus b, which is 2 times 7 minus b, which is 8. Another one, a minus b, which is 7 minus 8. And then another one, which is a plus b, which is 7 plus 8, equal to, I'm getting negative 91 over 90. So this becomes negative 91 over 90. I'm looking for that in my original. This is my original. This is what I have as my original, just to check that I did write it right. But this is what I have: 2a squared minus 3ab plus b squared, and 2a minus b, a minus b, 2a minus b, a plus b. Alright, that is fine. Let's do that. Let's take the calculator again. And with the calculator, I'm going to work it out. The same thing. A is 7, b is 8. So let's do that. A is 7 over b, which is 2 times a, which is 7 squared, minus 3 times a is 7, b is 8, plus b squared, which is what? 8 squared. The first one is done, plus, and then b is what? Remember, b is 8 over 2a squared, 2 times 7 squared, plus ab, 7 times 8, minus b squared, which is 8 squared, and then plus 1 over a plus b, which is 7 plus 8. Then if you say equal to, there it is, negative 91 over 90. So I'm also getting here minus 91 over 90. This answer I got in the beginning, and this answer I got in the final. So what does it mean when answers are matching like that? It means my simplification is still correct, but now I can't do anything further from here. Nothing can cancel. Then I can conclude that this is the final answer. Then I can just be more satisfied, more confident that I have gotten this thing correctly. Then there is your 6 marks. Is it difficult? I don't know. Is it easy? If you know the product sum. Now, how can you know about this? I've got a book called Mathematics N2 for the Underdogs. It is the book that I made with you in mind. I always say to you guys, I struggled. I had a problem with mathematics. It used to give me some nightmares, if you can say. You can check a video that I actually described to say my maths journey or my maths challenge. I actually tell you how maths became a nightmare to me. It actually even lowered my self-esteem in the class. But anyway, long story short, I managed to find a way of simplifying my own maths. It was meant for me. When teachers were making it difficult, I'll find ways of making it easier. I'll call a mentor or someone help me actually master that. So I detail in the video how I managed to kind of have a breakthrough in my maths. But anyway, I'm saying there is a book called The Mathematics N2 for the Underdogs. It's found on Takealot. You can grab hold of the book. It comes also with videos like these. So you have a full curriculum of your maths. And from those or the comments that I'm getting, people are benefiting from this book. So you can actually grab it on Takealot. Just type Mathematics N2 for the Underdogs. You will get it. I hope it is still available, but there are very few copies left. So just check it out. Next one, 2.1.2, it says we need, remember the question was simplify the following algebraic fractions. I need to simplify this. 4 marks. Guys, it's the same thing I did. I need to use the product sum method. Let's start with the first one. The first one says I need to simplify this. 4p squared plus 8pq plus 4q squared. See this? It simple needs a product sum method. You don't have to struggle with it, but you just have to focus on the product sum. Okay, for interest sake, let me just leave it like that. I'm not going to erase anything this time, but I'm going to use the product sum. Now, how do I use it? First things first, look at this 4, 8, 4. You can see that 4 is common there. So don't work with complicated long numbers or big numbers. Like 4, you can take out 4. When you're taking out 4, you can put a bracket. So it's 4p squared plus 8pq and then plus 4q squared. When you see the square, just know that is product sum. 3 items, 1, 2, 3, with the square and the beginning and the end like this. It's a product sum method. You don't have to stress. So how do you work this out? Take out 4, 4 cancelling 4, 4 cancelling 8 is a 2, 4 cancelling 4 there is a 1. So you can see it's p squared plus 2pq plus q squared. That's what you're going to have. So if I use that, it will be in here p squared plus 2pq plus q squared. Then that is where the product sum method will come when I'm going to be factorizing this. So if I can use it like that to say in here, take the first and the last, what I'm going to have is my product. And then what is my sum? My sum is that. I'll make it a plus s. So now I can do it quicker now. My product means p is equal to q times p, which is 1p squared q squared. It's 1. My product is 1. And my sum is the center number, which is what? Which is 2pq. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for two numbers. When I multiply them, I get these are factors. Remember, it's factors of the product. And the factors are the factors of 1. A number that I multiply to get 1, it's simple 1 times 1. But now, I need to add these two numbers. I must get a 2. So which means it's positive 1 plus positive 1. You just put pq there, and you just put pq there. So you can come up with this to say it becomes 4p squared plus 1pq, which I got there and there. I think that plus 1pq plus q squared. So now how many terms now? From 3 I've got 4. Remember, you look at the first two, you group them now. First two and last two. You ask what is common. Always maintain your 4 on the outside. So now when you're taking out, you can put now two brackets. The first one is square now. Take out p, you can see p squared and p, not q. So p is common in the first one. Remember, we are dividing p into p squared, p will remain. P into pq, q will remain. Are you seeing that? So in here, I'm saying take out p. P into p squared is p plus p into pq, it's q. I need to get a similar bracket. So take out a positive. Now it's pq squared plus q squared. I'll take out a positive 1q. Always you can leave out the 1 and say only q. Q will cancel q to remain with p, and q will cancel the q squared to remain with 1. So it's p plus q also. I saying that. So I will have p plus q, which is identical in that, and then you open the square, close the square. So when you've done that, look what you're having now. You've got 4, put that bracket, right? The first one is p plus q, that's the first bracket. Outside the bracket you've got that, which is again a p plus q. You can further move on to say, okay, this can further move on to say this is 4, but it's not necessary. P plus q, it will be p plus q squared, you see, like that. But it's not necessary. Even this square bracket, you can take it out like this. It's not necessary to have this square bracket. You can actually leave your answer like that if it's confusing you, so that this can actually be much closer like this. It's fine. It's acceptable. It's equal to 4p plus q squared, because the square only affects what is inside the brackets. So as I said, I don't want to erase this. I just wanted to maintain it, so that we can have, you can see how we work it from there. Okay, so first things is done. Let's look at the second one. The second one, it wants us to factorize. This is 9. What is that? I'll use a different one. It says 9p squared minus 6pq minus 3q squared. They want us to factorize that. So I'm looking at this one here. Again, as I said, it's the same method that they're just requiring, just that they're bringing it in different ways. So if you can master the first product sum, then you're good to go in all of this. So what do we do here? Again, 9, 6 and 3. You can see that 3 is common. 3 into 9 is 3p squared. 3 into 6 is minus 2pq. 3 into 3 is minus 1q squared. Don't let this confuse you in terms of looking into that. Let's look at this. I'm doing that so that I don't need to divide. Let me not divide this line this time. But I think I can, because just to get a bit of space for the other ones. Look at this. What do I have? I have with me here to say I need to use the product sum, take the first and the last with the signs. That's my product, and my product is equal to 3 times negative 1 is minus 3p squared q squared. This must not worry you, the p and the q. Only the negative 3 is your focus. And then the center one, remember, is your sum, which is that. That's your sum. So your sum here is negative 2pq. Don't worry with pq, just the minus 2. The factors are the factors of the what? Of the product. Meaning, you need 2 numbers to get a negative 3. And the factors of 3 is 1 times 3. Now that's where confusion comes in. You need 2 numbers to get a negative 3, which means it's either it's minus 3 and it's minus 1 times 3, or it's either 1 times negative 3. That's how you can get a negative 3. 1 must be positive and 1 must be negative. But when I add them, if I say minus 1 plus 3, I'm not going to get a negative. You can test it with the calculator to say minus 1 plus 3, sum is 2. But if I say 1 plus negative 3, I get the negative 2, which is the sum. So this first one is out. Use that. The first one here, this one is out. But if I come and add 1 plus minus 3, I get what I want. You just put PQ. You just put PQ there. That's all. So when you simplify this, you will have 3 on the outside. Then you've got 3pq, p squared. Then 1pq. Then minus 3pq. and then minus 3q squared. See that? Then close the bracket. Don't forget that bracket, it's very important. Then when you continue, you're going to have a 3. Put now the square because you need to factorize further like we did in first one. You look at your first 2 and your last 2. It always maintains the same steps. So what is common in 3p squared plus pq? P is common. Put a bracket. P into 3p squared is 3p plus p into pq. You cancel out the p, q will remain. So you need a similar bracket like this. So you take out a plus. Now 3pq, 3q squared. 3 is repeating. You can see pq, q squared is q that is repeating. Now 3pq into that, the negative is powerful than the positive, so it's positive p. When you cancel out that q, you see p is remaining. In the second one, cancel out the q squared, 1 will remain. You see that? So that is that. So it's again negative q. Then you close the bigger bracket. Now you take out your 3. Now it's p. It's 3p plus q. Why am I writing it? I still have negatives inside. So here's 2 positive. The other brackets is 2 negatives. So I need to take out a negative. When I take out a negative, I told you interchange the signs. Here is positive 3. It's minus 3q. Positive p. It's positive. Negative p becomes positive. Negative q becomes positive. Now identically they are the same. So now what do? You write your 3 and you have got your bigger bracket. You've got your p. I don't need to write that. I write the first bracket, 3p plus q, and outside the bracket is that and that, which is p minus 3q. Then you close the bracket and then you're good to go. That is that. And then a few of them remaining now is at the bottom. So those were the top ones. And let's look at the bottom. The bottom is this one, which is what? Sorry about that. This one is 3p squared minus 3q squared. When there are 2 like this with the square, it's a difference of 2 squares. But first of all, look at 3. Then you've got, take out 3, it cancels to remain with p squared. In here, it remains with q squared. You see that? Then that's the difference of 2 squares. Then you say 3, you open 2 brackets like this, which is what? P plus q and p minus q. Difference of 2 squares. Don't be tempted there. Difference of 2 squares. The next one is also not complicated. It is 4p plus 4q. Take out 4 is common. 4 into 4p, p remains. 4 there, q remains. So that becomes also the answer. Then what we need to do is to write what we were having here, the final answers. So I'm looking for this answer. I'm looking for this answer. And I'm looking for that answer. You know what? I'm looking for these answers there. And I'm looking for this answer here. That's what I'm going to write at the bottom. So if you're doing your working, that's what you do. You continue to say, here the first one was the 4p squared. So it became like this to say, if I can have it like this, I don't know whether it will allow me to do what I want to do, but I'm just lazy to let me see. Yes. Oh, it allows me. Okay, it does allow me, so let me do it like that. But okay, there's some that I don't want there, but it's good. Let's do like this. I just want this here. Let me take it further. I just want this here. So I've got that, but I don't want this small parts here. Okay, so that's the first one. and then it's over. I just want to maintain there. So this is over what? Over, and then the other one is not difficult. It's over 3p squared minus 3q squared. So it's over 3p squared. It's 3p squared minus 3q squared, and then the sign in between is what? It's multiplication. Okay, so it's times, and then there's this one. So I think I can do it also like what I did. Take it out. I'll take out the other stuff, and then I do that. There we go. If I can take this one out from this to say it is this one. Now I don't need that. Alright, and again it's all over here. I've got what? The other one was 4p plus 4q. Okay, so it was 4p plus 4q. But now you remember what we got. We got this. You see, I'm just grabbing these things now. Okay, no, I don't want it. I just want to duplicate it so that we remain with. So we got this here. Oh, thank you. Actually, I didn't want that circle there. So we got this as the result, and guess what? This I can delete. And then it was what? All over. I don't want to go through that working. We've been working it together, guys. And then it's 3 that, but I think this one I can quickly do it. It was 3p minus q, p plus q. Remember, times. Again, if I look at the long one, which is this one. Okay, this one. Thank you. No. Doesn't want to do what I want. Okay, there you go. Oh, okay, let me try it again. Yes, and do that. So I've separated it, and I want to take it further to my problem here. Sorry about that on the time. I know it's taking all the time. I'm just feeling lazy to be writing this down. Alright, so look at this, guys. Oh, I like it when it just kind of separates on its own like that. So look at this. I got this thing here. I'm just trying to show you that is the working that is important here. And then I got that, and it's what? It's all over. This one I can write it quickly. It was 4p plus q. That's what we had. Now the question is, what do you do from here? Look at this. When you are here and it's multiplying, then you can cancel out what is common. P plus q, p plus q, p plus q, p plus q, p minus q. Is there any p minus q? I'm not getting any of it. Okay, nothing. So that is that. And then the other one that I'm getting here, but something is not right here. Something is not right. Let me just check again. I think I factorized this thing wrong in here to say, did I do this right? To say in here p, which is p plus q. Let me just check if I factorized this thing right here. Is p minus that, and I said my factors are that, which was that, which is correct. So the 3 is out, then it's p is 3p plus q, and then we ended up saying here take out -3 here is p plus q. So there is the error. Look, that's where I made an error, because I said the brackets must be the same, and I actually claim that these brackets are the same. I hope you pick this up. These brackets are different. So let's solve this. Let's correct this. I'm not going to erase it. I'm just going to leave it here so that you can see where the error was. So let's take it all the way from here. What do I have? We said I had 3, and then I had 3p squared plus 1pq minus 3pq, and then was it a 3 when I took out? See, it was a 1. That's where things got wrong. It's not supposed to have a 3 there. It's supposed to have a 1, which is the error that I made. You see, I put a 3, but I was supposed to put, there is a 1 here, 1q squared, so it's minus 1q squared. Then you do that. Then 3, what's common in the first two? It's we said put a big bracket here. What's common in the first two? 3p squared plus 1pq. We said it was p, and then it was 3p plus q. Then I must get something similar. Remember the negative issue. Then at the end of the day I interchange. Say plus, and then q is common. It's minus 3p and then minus q. Then you continue to say 3p plus q, and then interchange the sign. Now it's minus q, negative becomes 3p, negative q becomes q. Now it's identical. Now I can see 3p plus q, 3p plus q. So I write that, and then I write 3p plus q, and then I've got p minus q. That's what I need to correct here. That's what I need to bring to the other side. So let's take the right one here and leave out the error one. So if I were to bring it in here to say I'm bringing the right one and I'm deleting the other wrong one, you are wrong, go. And then I'm bringing the right one here like this, and then we delete that. Let's do the fresh cancelling, because already it's cancelled here. So if I were, okay, oh, this thing sometimes it does good. I can literally select things that, oh no, okay, it's kind of okay. Sorry about this. I know in your exam you can do this, but anyway, I think I am, I hope I was doing the right thing. What is what? This thing was here plus q. Alright, okay, let me know 3p plus q. So let's take this in there. It's just 3p plus q. So I think now I'm just, oh, I see, 3p, it was here, 3p minus q. Okay, now okay, so this is what I had, but now I still want to cancel this thing fresh. That's where things get messed up here. Okay, but I need to take you back, my guy. You go back there, you go back there. Alright, but let's do this. Look at this. Let's recancel again everything. So p plus q, It's nice to cancel with the straight one. So look, P plus Q, P plus Q, and then P plus Q, P plus Q, and then P minus Q. Let's use this P minus Q, P minus Q. Okay, anything else? Yes, you are right. 4 and 4, 3 and 3, and then what is left? You can then write what is left. Here it's 1, it's 1, it's 1, nothing is left. Even here it's 1, it's 1, everything cancelled. So you're multiplying 1 and there is remaining, which is 3P plus Q. It's 1, it's 1, it's 1. So the answer there is 3P plus Q. Do you want to test it? I will advise yes, test that. Choose any number, choose any number of P and Q. Let's maintain the other one. We said P was 7, Q was equal to 8. Let's maintain this and see what it gives us in the final. So we can just maintain that and work. Remember how you test it? You test the first and you test the last one. So if I say 3 in 3 times, you can put a bracket, still fine. P is 7 minus Q is 8. I'm getting 13. So here in my test, it gives me what? It gives me a 13, positive one. Let's go to the original. Maybe you say he's using the wrong original. Let's use the actual one here. The actual one from the question here. Remember, P is 7, Q is 8. So anyway, where there is P and where there is Q, I need to use that. So let's go. 4 is fraction first. 4 times P squared is 7 squared plus 8 times P is 7 times Q is 8 plus 4 times Q is 8 squared over 3 times P, which is 7 squared, minus 3 times Q, which is 8 squared. Play forward, times fraction 9 times P, which is 7 squared, minus 6 times P 7 times Q 8, minus 3 times Q, which is 8 squared, over 4 times P is 7 plus 4 times Q is 8, equal to 29. It's disappointing. Yes, I see the error. I said plus. Yeah, it's correct. I thought it was in it. So 4 times 7, which is 4 times P, plus 4 times Q. Let's check where I made errors here. Maybe the substitution. So it's minus 3 times 8 squared, which is correct. Minus 6 times 7 times 8, which is correct. 9 times P squared 7 squared, which is also correct. Alright, this is also correct. Nothing is wrong here. The other one is 4 times 8 squared is correct. And then is 3 times 8 squared is correct. And then it was 4 times 7 squared plus 8 times 7 times 8 plus 4 times that. 3 times this. To me, this looks correct. It's 29. I don't see any error here. I'm getting a 29. Now let's come back to my final solution. I don't know where it's wrong. I don't know what's wrong there. I got a 29. Let's do it again. The final solution. Let's test again. Remember, P is 7 and what? And Q is what? Is 8. Let's test it again. 3 times 7 plus, not minus. 3 times 7 plus 8. There is the 29. I think I said minus in the other one. That's why I got a 13. It's supposed to be plus. See, So be careful how you test this. 29. So what does it mean? It's correct, guys. That's how you do that. I've been spending a lot of time on this section, and I hope you guys can see the importance of this. So that's why I was just giving myself more time. But let's move on fast now. 2.2. Anyway, it's for you, my underdog. If you are struggling with your maths, I'm happy to spend more time with it like this. Look at the next one. It says what? Given the following algebraic expressions, 2.2.1. Look at this now. Factorize each expression completely. There is another factorizing part. We need to factorize. And then this is 7 marks. Can you believe this? We need to factorize this. So it's 2, 4, 6. One of them is 3. So I've got minus 2n minus 2l minus 2n squared plus 2l squared. I'm tempted to say, since there are 4 items, it looks like factorization by grouping. Alright, so if you can group, let's group the first 2 like this and group the last 2. But before we do that, look at this. 2 is common everywhere, so we can take out 2 here. And yeah, let's take out 2. What will have? Minus n minus l minus n squared plus l squared. Alright, then after that we can look at the first 2 and the last 2. Is there anything common there? It's 2. What's common there? Nothing is common. Is minus. What did they want to achieve there? Okay, let's take out actually a negative 2. Just want to take out a negative, so meaning signs will interchange. What was negative is positive. Okay, let's erase this and redo it. Let's take out a minus 2. So minus 2 minus 2, n remains. Minus 2 minus 2l plus l, you see, because you're cancelling that with the negative. So that's a plus that remains, okay? Minus 2n again will cancel here to get n squared. You see that? So it's l plus n squared, but minus 2 divided by and positive 2 divided by negative 2, so it's plus 2, so it's plus 2 over negative 2. You cancel, but minus 1 is going to remain here. So what you're going to have here is negative l squared. This looks better, equal to negative 2. What do you do from here? So look at this. This is the difference of 2 squares. You see that? So I've got n plus l plus bracket n minus l bracket n plus l. See that? It's a difference of 2 squares. I don't know what they try to achieve here, but look at this. I've got n plus l, but even here, if I can put a bracket there, is n plus l. Do you see that? So I can actually take out another n plus l to say minus 2 bracket n plus l, then open a bracket. So is this into this will remain with a 1. 1 plus, that will cancel n minus l. You see that? See what I'm saying? So I'm saying n cancel out this one and that one. So here you get a 1. Then you've got this plus sign. Then you cancel that with that, you are left with n minus l. You can put it in brackets like that. This is that. I don't see anything further, which is minus 2 n plus l, and then can open a bracket, which is 1 plus n minus l. This is not minus 1, it's just minus l. I don't see any way, maybe just to see if I can take let me take this and see, was there another way of factorizing this thing, because it looks a bit funny itself. But if I do this, just to check something here, if I regrouped it actually by saying minus 2, bring the n together to say n plus n squared, then plus l minus l squared. which is equal to minus 2, and then n is common, which is n into n is 1 plus n into n squared is n, and then plus l into l is 1 minus l. Can do that, but after that I'm stuck. Nothing is common here. There's nothing common, so I think this is more out, but the answer will more likely come from this. So let's look at the next one. The next one is negative 2l, negative n, negative 2l. So if I write this here to say negative 2n minus 2l, you can see negative 2 is common, that will cancel, and that will cancel, so it's n plus l. You see that? So here is n plus l. Always remember, when you're taking out a negative, if I open it, I'll get minus 2n. Open is minus 2nl, minus 2l. So that's what you're trying to achieve. So this is the answer there. Then the next one is this one. Let me use a different one. If you say negative 2n squared minus 4nl minus 2l squared. Again, product sum, but I'm just going to do it quicker. Product sum, take out minus 2 again, so it is positive n squared plus 2 into 4, it's 2nl plus 2 into minus 2 there, which is l squared. If you are using the product sum, I'm just going to do it quicker now. You're going to come up with two brackets, similar to what we're doing, but I think we got something similar here. It will be, just because of time, n plus 1 plus l and n plus l. Just use the product sum where we did something like this. N squared plus 2nl plus l. Let me see. Think it was this one. P squared plus, it was identical. Yes, it was similar to this. Go and look at what we did here. It was because we took out a 4, it became p squared plus 2pq plus q squared, which is similarly to this. It had a square. Remember, I even put a square, so you got this one. Then now, when we simplify this, they say factorize each expression completely. So we factorize minus 2, blah, 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 blah. And then they say determine the, that's the second question that mostly makes students struggle. Determine the HCF and the LCM. Let's start with the HCF. I want to view all of this. Alright, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out, like what I did, just select what I need. So I just want to select from here. Okay. Yes. Not like that. I want to select this here. Take out that one. And also, I want to select this one. To come here, closer. So that you can understand when I'm talking about the highest common factor, what are we talking about? And I also want to bring in this one. I wanted to duplicate that one, but anyway, it's fine. Okay, just want to bring. Alright, it's coming. Alright, so we've got these. I just want to show you how we do this. So since we are given the LCM and the HCF, so I'm gonna make it twice. So if I can do this and duplicate even this one as a whole now and make it times 2, so that, yes, I just didn't want it to like this. Alright, so this is what we have. Let's start with the first one, HCF. HCF, highest common factor. How do you find the highest common factor here? By highest common factor, what they're saying is look at all the three. This is number 1, the other way around. This is number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. You ask yourself, the keyword there is common. What's common? Meaning it must be repeating in all the 3 and it is the highest. Don't worry with this word highest, but let's look at what is common, meaning it must be repeating in all the 3. Look at this one. -2, I see it there. -2, I see it there. -2. So I say -2. And then n plus l, n plus l, n plus l in brackets. You also say n plus l. Then after that, this is 1 plus n minus l already. Is there something similar on the next one? No, on the other one. So that's it. So that becomes your highest common factor. That is, they are saying which item or expression will divide into this one, it will divide into that, and it will divide into that without leaving a denominator, a remainder. So it's the common denominator in this case. It's common. It means it can go in there, it can go in there, and it can go in there. Alright, that's how you get the answer. So the answer here was -2 n l. Then come here, they said LCM. Remember, now the LCM I'm gonna use is here to say what is the LCM. Now the LCM is the lowest common multiple. Now on this lowest common multiple, this is how you do it. You write each and every expression that is showing up. So you say -2, you write for LCM, you write -2 is appearing, which is there. You just write the number. So it's -2, you don't have to repeat it. I see n plus l, put in brackets n plus l. I see the next one, which is 1 plus n minus l. N plus l is already there. N plus l. See now, something is funny there. I've got n plus l, n plus l. This is, be careful, n plus l squared. Okay, but let's leave it for now. This is n plus l. But now for the lowest common, since they are talking about multiple, you take the highest power. Then that becomes the answer. You don't take the smallest power, you choose the highest power. Alright, so that then becomes the HCF and the LCM. I hope, guys, this makes sense to you. Now we've come to the end of our lesson. Remember to subscribe, to share the channel, as well as to ensure that notification bell is turned on. Such questions and such programs is made, guys, with you in mind. So it is also important for you to give us feedback. Give me feedback and it gives me some motivation to give you more of this. We've come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.